You guys want to take a pole barn tour? Let's get after it. So it's a 30 by 48 plus this 6 by 24 porch. Porch is really nice, comes in handy. Gets you in the shade, out of the weather. Did like the car siding ceiling on it. Porch just accents it well when you're coming up the driveway too. Got another 12 by 8 side entry door over there. It's really nice to keep the breeze coming through, also to get equipment in and out. Got a bar with a TV. That room over there is just a storage room. Got shelves and stuff like that. That's where we've got all the totes, things like that. Got my gun safe out here with a dehumidifier inside. Fridge. Cabinets. So all these cabinets are Husky brand from Home Depot. And for the price, you really can't beat it. Toolbox got that on sale. Shelves got those when they were on sale. Got this workshop table. Got that when it was on sale. Can really store a lot of stuff. So many things to do out here. I've got my to-do board. I also got the tool sign out. People like to borrow my stuff and not return it. So now I know where it went. So that's what heats it. Propane, that's a 75,000 BTU Modine hot dog unit. Does really good. I'll explain the insulation and stuff again in a minute. Fuse panel over there. Entry door. I got the pan liner on the top. So let's take a seat. I need a drink, and then we'll talk more about what went into building this thing. So again, this is a 30 by 48 barn with the, plus the 6-foot porch. So I ordered the package from Menards. It's kind of a big box store that's local here in Michigan and the surrounding states in the Midwest. The pole barn package did good. You get online, you can go on the Menards website, you can design it online, and it'll give you a general cost breakdown of what everything's going to cost. You can pick out your dimension, your width, how far you want your trusses apart, your sidewall height. These are 10.5 foot. You print off the package and you take it to the Menards store and you tell them this is what you want. They make a few minor corrections on things with local building codes that they're aware of. It was pretty easy. I had everything here. I think the main pole barn package came here about a week later, and then the trusses came a week after that. Menards has their own sawmill, so they build all that stuff themselves. I did not have to return one single board from the package that they sent. Even the 24 footers were all straight, true. They weren't chipped up. Something that I haven't seen typically, even when I was building the house, had products delivered and I had to return, I don't know, 5-10 boards that were warped, crooked, twisted, etc. Menards did great. I don't have any complaints on them at all. I would definitely use their pole barn package again. People argue the steel, maybe not as good. I don't see any questions with the durability. We've went through snowstorms, hailstorms, branches falling on it and everything else. Nothing's denting, creasing. It seems to be holding up well. Certainly you could pay more to have the thicker steel. I think this is a 27 gauge steel is what they use. Some of the other places use 26, 25, even as thick as 23. I ordered the package. It came here. I built the barn myself. Well, with the help of family, they came in and helped me out. Thankfully, got it done. So we got the pole barn up in October of 2020. That was just the exterior shell. Got that up, and then I had the walls are all spray foamed. I have 1 inch of foam board up against the steel, and then I have 2 inches of closed cell spray foam insulation in the walls. It does really well. I showed you the heater that I used to heat this with. I left the heat like at 45 or 50 all year long. We had several outings and gatherings out here where we cranked the heat up to 70. And with all that, it cost me about 200 gallons in propane to heat this barn for the entire winter. I like the idea of having my machines and my equipment, my tools, paints, stains, everything else in here, and being able to keep that heated all year long. That was big for me when I built this barn that I hadn't had in the past. I didn't like the condensation on my tools, having to carry stuff inside, batteries going dead, etc. So that was nice for me to be able to have that. So definitely recommend that route as well. In the ceiling, we put about 16 inches of blown-in insulation on top of the ceiling liner. So that pretty much wraps up the insulation. The garage doors weren't insulated when I bought them, but I bought the insulation kits at Menards. It's just like the 3/4 inch or inch foam that goes on them, and I put them in there, and they seem to be doing well. The cost at the time for a insulated door was about 3 times the cost of just your regular standard doors. And me having 2 overhead doors in here, I didn't want to spend that initial cost. If I had to do it all over again, I probably would just buy the insulated doors off the bat instead of going this route. But I already committed, and I didn't want to just trash these doors. The inside. So the bottom steel liner that you see around here is the same as the outside. I ordered that when I ordered the pole barn package. Had to get done. And then all the wood that you see is from, we live in northern Michigan, a lot of Amish around, so went to the Amish sawmill and got those. They're all 1x12s, pine. There was about 150 boards that it took to buy to do this with. I really like the look. That was a look that I was shooting for. I don't have any varnish, polyurethane, stain on it or anything. It's all just natural right now. You notice some gaps in there. I wanted that. We put the wood up wet. When I bought the wood, I stacked it for about 2 months, put fans on it, let it dry out because it seems to be a little wet and sappy when you get it from the Amish. It's not like your store-bought boards, you know, that are kiln dried and ready to go that have very minimal shrinkage. So when I put these boards up, I let it, like I said, let them dry for a couple months, put them up, put the boards up tight against each other when I put them on the walls. And then now, you know, I've got like a, I don't know, anywhere from an 1/8 inch gap up to maybe the biggest one is maybe 3/8. But again, that was a look that I wanted. I wanted it to look like old barn, like the wood had been here before, like it was starting to age a bit. And it's really starting to turn that color and change of really what I like and what I wanted. The ceiling liner is just galvanized pole barn steel, again from Menards. Bought that, put it up. It was really easy. Just screwed it right to the trusses. I didn't do any cross members or anything like that. So the trusses that I did in here were 4 foot on center. Seems to be about the average for pole barns around here. Some people will go 8 foot and then they'll put their purlins up on angle like that. I didn't want to do that, so we went with 4 foot. So that suited my needs for putting the roofing steel on and the ceiling liner in here as well. So I would definitely recommend that. Altogether, remember, these are 2020 prices before COVID and things went up. But at the time, you know, I had about $13,000 in the pole barn package, which now costs maybe 17 or 18 if you were to price out the same thing. The boards from the Amish I had was about $800. Not bad. That's why we went that route. It probably would have been $2,500 or $3,000 worth of lumber if you went to a store and bought it. The insulation for the spray foam, again, adding the 1-inch board on top of the closed cell added about $1,400. So I paid about $4,500 for that altogether. And then I think I was about $1,600 or $1,800 for the ceiling up top. By the time you factor in the cement that got done, you know, which was about $6,000 for the floor, plus I got the approach out front and to cover the porch underneath, that was probably about $8,000. So the furnace to get that installed was about $2,500-ish. Then I had to get an extra propane tank. I wanted it different than the propane on the house. I didn't want it feeding off that. I got a 1,000-gallon for the house that lasts all year, so I wanted a 500 that would last out here all year too. So I had that cost to buy and purchase that. But all in all, doing this myself, you know, I'm into it for maybe about 35,000-ish ballpark. I know watching some of the other YouTubers, YouTube channels and stuff, that they pay, especially if you hire the labor out to do it all, to have this thing, you're looking at upwards of $65,000, $70,000 to get it done. And then me just having the general know-how of being able to do this was definitely an asset for me to be able to do it and save a lot of money. I had never built a pole barn before. I was YouTube trained. R&R Buildings was a big one that I went to. I definitely recommend his channel to go to. I probably learned most of the stuff that I needed to build this barn by watching his YouTube channels. And this was 2 years in the making of me planning to build this barn. You know, I had done a stick-built house before, did the upstairs here to do that. So I had a little bit of carpentry experience, mostly framing. But this was a little bit different. But Menards makes it nice. You know, you get the whole pole barn package. They give you the blueprints that comes with it. That's pretty easy to read, even for your novice builder carpenter with minimal framing. But your building inspector too will help you along the way. They should, at least, you know, with questions that you had. You know, so I had them. Mostly my questions were like putting the headers and stuff like that, of how they wanted those secured. You know, so I ended up going with the big lag bolts to screw those into the posts. That's what they wanted. Up here in northern Michigan, the snow load's a little bit higher than most places. So I certainly wouldn't be afraid to do it again. I learned a lot building this barn. There were some things that I might do a little bit different next time, but it's nothing notable or anything discussable to talk about. It's just me learning tricks to kind of speed up the process as it goes along. But this is a really nice place to work in, to hang out in. We have our family gatherings and stuff out here, so no regrets with this either. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this pole barn tour today. If you guys have any more questions, just comment, let me know what you want to see or what you want to know about, and I'll be happy to talk about it with you. Till next time, thanks for stopping by.